Hi, everyone. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late here. I'm going to let everybody go ahead and start joining. So I should have a couple viewers here in a second. This is my last training call for the week. I've done three other sessions between yesterday and today. So it should take us somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. 45 minutes will be max. And just want to welcome you to the training. This training session is for our new sampling program called Sample Spot inside of Price Chopper and Market 32 stores. So I will get started here in just a moment. We're just waiting for a couple more viewers to join us, okay? Alrighty, guys. So the first thing I want to do is give you a little bit of background about Price Chopper. So you may not know this, but Price Chopper has actually managed their own events internally for the last 30 to 35 years, somewhere around there. So they had a program, and now they've partnered with us to basically rebrand that program. We've brought some of the old folks over from the previous program, and now we've also been recruiting new people as well. So I've got multiple people on this call. Some of you may be new to Market 32 and Price Chopper. Others of you may have worked the program before. So we're going to explain how the new program will operate. So a little bit of background information. So I just want to let you know, Price Chopper and Market 32 operates in over 130 stores in 6 states, and their main office is in Schenectady, New York. They're proud to be an American-owned, family-managed company where the teammates own over 44% of the privately held stock. They trace their roots to 1932 when brothers Ben and Bill Golub opened their first store in Green Island, New York under the name Public Service Market, which later became Central Market. In 1973, they changed their name to Price Chopper, which you will see now on over 100 stores. Today, you are a part of our latest transformation as they have remodeled and converted stores from Price Chopper to Market 32. The Market 32 stores build on their traditional strengths in fresh foods and excellent value by providing more local products, more prepared foods, and a modern shopping experience compared to Price Chopper. Throughout their history, they've been an innovative retailer of products and services that recognizes consistently staying and satisfying our customers, which is key to their success. They're also a part of each community they serve. Whether you're working in a Market 32 or Price Chopper, they are here to serve the people who seek a quality food experience in support of a well-balanced lifestyle. As part of the sampling team, you will be helping fulfill their goal of providing food experiences that inspire shoppers to explore. So thank you and welcome to the team. So I'll show you guys what the new program looks like a little bit later. It is called Sample Spot. So I'll be showing you a couple of those elements to get you excited about the program. I think it looks really sharp and has a new modern edge. So I'll share with you guys a little bit when I can share. So first, I'd like to start off by explaining a little bit of the differences between adult beverage sampling and in-store food sampling. So we've actually been managing a program of food sampling program. I'm sorry, not a food sampling, an adult beverage program. It's becoming the end of the day for me, so I haven't had enough coffee. So the adult beverage program we've actually been running for about 1.5 years, and it is still going to continue to run. Previously, it was managed by a different team, and now it's going to be managed by us as well. So we think that the two work well together, and it's important to us to have those combined. So the adult beverage sampling and food sampling will be scheduled very differently. So adult beverage sampling will be done by you guys applying for the events, and I'll explain what that means. And food sampling, we do all manual scheduling on the back. So the adult beverage sampling, you may have already seen this in your field link profiles, is they show up as opportunities. So in your profile, you will see that you are eligible to work adult beverage opportunities if you're over the age of 21. So if you're over 21, you will get really cool, you'll get emails. They're not super cool. You will get emails rather letting you know when those events have been entered. So that's based on your location. And if you don't see any opportunities, it means that there isn't any events in your area. Most of you should be in areas where there are, however. So you will get an email alert letting you know, hey, there's these new events in your area, new adult beverage events. If you'd like to work them, you can click on them and apply to work them. That doesn't mean you have to interview again. You're just basically raising a hand saying, I want to work this event. So keep that in mind for adult beverage sampling. We're going to continue scheduling that way. The way that it works is the system works on a first come, first serve basis. So if you would like to work one of those and you apply to work it, within 24 to 48 hours, the system will kick you out an email letting you know whether or not you have been scheduled. So if you were the first one to apply, you'll get a confirmation saying you've been scheduled. And if you weren't and someone else was hired in, then you will automatically by the system, then you'll get an email letting you know, sorry, this has already been staffed and you don't need to work it. So I just wanted to explain that difference because that is not how we will do food sampling scheduling. The way that we do that is all manual. So we have hired you with a home store in mind, meaning that that is the store that we will schedule you at on a regular basis. So we add you into those. So I have sent out to all of you at this point an availability survey. I hope that you have completed that. If you haven't and you need it, please let me know. And after this call, and I will send it to you again. I ask that you all complete that survey because it's going to tell us when we can schedule you. So, and also any dates you're not available in February or March, please put in there as well. This is going to help me do scheduling so that I can ensure that I'm getting you as many hours as I can or scheduling you appropriately according to your availability. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're launching in the Market 32 stores this weekend, and then the Price Chopper stores will be launching in March, the first weekend. So March 3rd and March 4th is when we'll be starting those. I've actually started scheduling for those already. I plan to finish all of the scheduling through March 4th by the end of this week, and you should see those in your profiles. So it's really important you fill out that availability survey. So when you are scheduled for a food event, you will receive an email automated from the system letting you know you have been scheduled for an event. So at that point, you should have, if you needed the time off, you should have already asked us for the time off. So at that point, if ever you get scheduled for something and you realize I can't work this, you need to let us know immediately so that I can remove you from that and find somebody to cover. We always do our best to schedule 4 weeks in advance, but at a bare minimum, it'll be 2 weeks in advance. So there'll be some weeks where we're swamped and we're behind, and we're not going to get the schedule entered until 2 weeks ahead of time. It will always be at least 2 weeks, but like I said, we will aim for 4 weeks. So we also require a minimum of 2 weeks notice if you need time off. If you know your time off that you're going to need way far in advance, like I just had someone submit a time off request for June, please let us know. The farther in advance we know, the better. 2 weeks, though, again, is the bare minimum. So please make sure that you are sending those in. Also, moving forward, any and all communication should be sent to pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. Again, the email address that you want to communicate with us at is pricechopper, all one word, pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. So that email is a group inbox that my entire team has access to, and it is managed every single day to ensure that we get back to you in a timely manner. So if someone is on vacation or they're sick or they whatever, it's not going to hold us up from getting back to you. So moving forward, time off requests, if you just want to say hello to us, if you would like to, if you have questions, comments, concerns, whatever, all goes to Price Chopper. And all 3 of us, actually there's 4 of us now that will respond and look at that inbox. So please, that will help us keep organized and make sure we're getting back to you in a timely manner. So again, pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. Okay, and then there's 2 different types of events for food events. So there are national brand events and there are own brand events, and I'll explain the difference. So an own brand event means that the products are exclusive to Price Chopper and or Market 32. So it means that it is a store brand product. So they have one that's called PICS, PICS, that you guys will frequently be sampling. It means that the product is exclusive to their store. So it can't be sold in other stores like Wegmans or Fresh Market or anything like that. It's only sold in those stores. When we do own brand events, you will not purchase any of the products that you are sampling. Instead, you will give them to the store and they will manage how they're going to mark those out of stock and take them off, and they'll take on the expense for that. So you're always going to reference your event materials, which are going to be in your field link profile, and I'll show you how to obtain those towards the end of this call, or the end of this video rather. So the event materials will always tell you whether or not it's an own brand or national brand, and they'll tell you if you need to purchase the product that day. Own brand events, again, we do not purchase, and there will be specific instructions for what to do with any leftover product or anything that you used, depending on the department. So it's different between deli, bakery, grocery, all of that. So please just make sure that you are reading your event materials to find out what you need to do with the items afterwards, because you're not going to purchase. Now, if we do a national brand event, that's a little bit different. National brand means you are going to purchase the items at the end of your event. National brand are the things that you're familiar with. So I'm trying to think if I have any examples around here, but an example of that would be like Ritz crackers, or Gatorade, or Wheat Thins, big name products that you guys are familiar with that everybody knows. Barilla pasta is another one, things like that. Those are items that you definitely would be considered national brand. And again, it will tell you on your event materials what you're sampling. And then it's important that you reference those event materials as well for instructions for the debit card. So I'm going to go over it with you as well, but the debit card is going to be kept at customer service. So if you remember when we first chatted, any of my team that you chatted with should have told you that the debit card is never to be taken from the store. The debit card will be kept at customer service at that store, and it is assigned to that particular store, so it should not leave. So at the end of your national brand event, what you will do is you will take all of your items that you used for your sampling event, you'll take them up to the customer service desk, ask to borrow the debit card, run the card to purchase your items, and then return the card to customer service. The PIN number for the debit card is 8700. Again, that's 8700. That PIN number will also be on your event materials. So you're probably seeing a trend here that nearly all of your questions can be answered on the event materials document that we provide to you. Again, so if you ever have questions, reference there first. And then if you still don't know the answer, let us know and we'd be happy to help you out, okay? So in the national brand events, what I like to do is keep a basket, just a little shopping basket, and put my used items in there, because you're going to take that with you at the end of your demo to the checkout and check out there. So you will not purchase anything at the beginning of your event. You're going to purchase everything in one transaction at the end of your event. And the way that we do that is we just collect all the boxes or packaging as we go, so that we will have those at the end of the event to check out. So, maybe I used 4 Ritz boxes and 3 packages of cheese or whatever. I'm going to save those wrappers, and I'm going to use those wrappers at the end, or the boxes, to check out. Okay. So, and that process again will be outlined step by step for you in your event materials as well. Event materials can be found in your field link profile for each event, and they are uploaded the Wednesday prior to your weekend events. So for example, today's Wednesday, and this weekend we have several events. So I will be uploading by the end. It'll take me a while, so give me some time. But by this evening, I will have uploaded the event materials to your field link profile. You'll get a nice email letting you know that I've uploaded those event materials and they're ready to be reviewed. And I will show you where to locate those and how to download them momentarily, okay? So, so from that, we went over national brand versus own brand. The debit card we talked about. Okay, food handler certification. So I'd just like to mention this. If you are someone who does not have a ServSafe food handler certification yet, you need to make sure that you get one before this weekend. So I believe all of you are on this call already sent me yours, but if you need instructions on that, again, please let me know and I will send them to you after this video. We already talked about the Price Chopper inbox. Anything you need to go to that Price Chopper inbox. We all see it. We all, as a collaborative effort, will take turns answering that inbox. So that's the best way to reach all of us, is through that email. Attendance policy. This is something I like to talk about. So attendance policy, this is a business and this is a job, and we need to make sure that we are ensuring regular staffing and that the stores can count on us, Price Chopper can count on us. So we need to create that rapport that we are reliable as a company to show up. So I like to just explain to everybody that frequent attendance issues can lead to removal of the program or further disciplinary action, depending on if it becomes a pattern. We understand emergencies happen, okay? So if you have an emergency, you can't just not show up to work. You have to tell us that you are having an emergency for whatever that is. You got sick last minute, child issue, family issue, whatever. We need to know. It is a absolute 100% written warning, and potentially worse if you do not let us know. That is called job abandonment, and you have to let us know if you are unable to attend your event. There will be a specific contact number for weekends that you will have. That is the territory supervisor. Her name is Jeanette. I will provide it to you. You'll have it this evening when I upload the event materials. If you run into any issues during your event, that is who you're going to call. Not me, not Sarah, not Stephanie. You need to call the number that is on your event materials. We do not work on weekends. Jeanette does. So the number we have listed on your event materials, someone will answer on Saturday and Sunday. If you call us on Saturday and Sunday, we will not answer our phones. It is a cell phone, so you will be able to call or text that number. But if you need help, maybe you ran out of product or you don't have the featured product or the product's not there or whatever, then that is an issue you can call Jeanette for. We always ask you to be independent and try to problem solve on your own. But if you need help, we have Jeanette available there for you to call or text. So that is a cell phone number, and she will get back to you as soon as she can. She's managing several events, so if she doesn't answer, she will call you back. She's probably on the other line with another person helping them. So just hang tight with that. As far as time off too, we already went off. All time off requests need to be emailed to pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. Again, pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. So we talked about attendance. We talked about time off. We ask that you give us at least a 2-week notice, but the farther in advance, the better. So if you can give us even more than that, that would be phenomenal. Okay, guys. So that is the first part that I like to cover. Okay, so now I'm going to go through what you can expect from the time you arrive to the time that you leave. So the time of 11 to 5 for your scheduled events does include your scheduled setup time and breakdown time. So what that means is that you do not need to arrive any earlier. So your setup time should be from about 11 to 11:30, and your breakdown time should be about 4:30 to 5. It shouldn't, I understand it might take you a little bit longer initially as you're getting used to things to set up. But after that, it should be sticking closely as possible to that 11 to 5 time frame. We should not be working beyond that, and we should not be arriving any earlier. So on time, arriving on time means that you are in the store when I'm at my job and I start at, let's say, I don't know, I start at 8 a.m. in the morning. I don't walk in at 8:03. I walk in at 7:50. I get my coffee, I get situated, and then I sit down and I start working. So you need to be on site in that building by your scheduled start time of 11 a.m. Okay. I'm sorry, I have like a hair on my nose or something. So make sure that you're arriving on time. Okay. We don't want anybody to be late. If you are going to be late, you had car trouble, your car didn't start because of the winter. I get that. I live in Minneapolis, so I totally understand the cold weather thing. So if that is an issue, please text Jeanette or call her and let her know, hey, I'm going to be 15 minutes late. And just to so we can give the store a heads up. Okay. That will help us out. We understand that happens, but let's just try to limit it. So from the time you arrive, you should check in with any store manager. It will be a different store manager depending on what store you work at. So it might be the store manager, it might be the co-manager, it might be the grocery manager. I don't know who it's going to be. So when you'll start to build those relationships as you go along, working in a consistent store. So just make sure that you are connecting with whoever the manager is. So you can just ask for the manager when you arrive on your first shift. Explain to them, they should have received some communication already about interactions and the program that's starting. And several of our team members also went out to the store to introduce themselves and set up a couple items as well. So they should have some knowledge about the program. So you'll introduce yourself, explain that you're from Interactions, here to work the sample spot event. Ask them to show you where the sampling supply area is. And at this point, you'll pretty much be on your own. It's independent. You will need to reference your event materials to see what you need to pull out. So bring your event materials with you, and you can see, okay, I need a demo cart, I need a spatula, I need a measuring cups today, an electric skillet, cutting board, whatever it is. It will tell you exactly what you need, and you'll need to put all those items on your cart and then wheel those out. Okay, so you will wheel those out to the sampling area. It'll be different depending on the product. It'll be different where you set up each time. So this is something you'll work with the store on. We would most likely, or we most prefer that you are near the product. So for example, if I'm sampling Ritz, I don't want to be next to the product in the middle of the aisle. I want to be on the front of the Ritz aisle, so we can maximize how many samples we're able to give out. And then if I'm in, if I'm doing a deli product or a produce product, that would want to be in that section, right? Sometimes you'll be limited if you are working with an appliance because you do need an outlet. So you'll need to work with the store to find out where the best place for that is, okay? But again, try to set up near the product, or if the store wants you in a particular area, please abide by what the store asks you, okay? So once you're all set up, I do want to also make note that on your table, you need to have an allergen sign. So we have printed, laminated caution allergen signs that are at the stores for you. And they have a little silver stand where you literally like just slip it in. It's kind of like those little picture things. I wish I had a better example to show you, but it's pretty easy. It'll sit tabletop, and then you will have you'll put the little signage in there. On the back side of that is a break sign. So if you need to take a 15-minute break, you can flip that over so that it's facing forward, and then the break sign will be displayed. Speaking of breaks, within your paid 6-hour shift, you are given one 15-minute paid break. So what that means is that if you're going to take a break, you are going to need to shut down your station. So that means tucking anything sharp away underneath on the shelving. Also throwing away any existing samples. So let's say I was doing sampling Ritz crackers and cheese. If I had 2 samples remaining sitting out that no one had taken and maybe it's slow, I need to throw those away before I leave my station. That's a basic food safety requirement. So from there, and then it's 15 minutes max, guys, from the time that you leave. So if you need to, use the restroom or make a phone call real quick or something, that is when you have the time to do it. If you're working with an appliance, that needs to be cooled down. So it's important to remember that you need to really close that down and make sure it's not hot and it's unplugged when you step away as well. So just make sure that we have all that situated. And then you'll kind of reopen as you come back from your break, okay? Change your gloves as a reminder. Change your gloves as often as possible. And then phones. I always want to mention phones. So phones tend to be an issue, and everyone's addicted to their phone. I mean, I have 2. I have one right here. It's ridiculous how many phones I have. So I have one for work and one for another program and one for myself. So anyway, with phones, you should only be on your phone to A, check the time, and B, take the required photos, which we will go over later. And that is the only reason you should use your phone. So you can have it on you. I understand we require you to take photos, but you should not be texting or reading on it or playing a game on it or calling on it. If you need to call us for an emergency, let's say, something to do with product or whatever, and you're calling Jeanette, you're calling that weekend coverage phone number that's on your event materials, you need to step away from your station, go off of the sales floor into the back area where guests cannot see you, and make that phone call. We do not want to be on a phone as people are walking by. It's unprofessional. So just please keep that in mind. If we get feedback that you are you on your phone playing around, we are going to address it, and we will have to issue disciplinary action. So that is a policy that I want you to be aware of. Okay, and then the last part of your, obviously from 11:30 to 4:30, you are doing active sampling. So you're handing out as many samples as possible. And then 4:30 to 5 is cleanup. You'll need to work with the store to determine which 3-compartment sink you can use. So you should have learned in your serve safe that a 3-compartment sink is how we do dishwashing. So there's specific instructions on how to wash and sanitize. I'm also going to be creating a handbook for you guys. It won't be ready until before March, before we launch the rest of the Price Chopper stores. And I will send that to you guys once I have it ready. I'm still finalizing the content, putting that together for you. It will have basically a recap of everything I'm talking about today and more. So it'll have specific instructions about the 3-compartment sink as a recap, jog your memory so that you know we're following all food safety guidelines. After closing up, you do need to clean everything, wash everything, dry everything, and put it back. It is nobody's responsibility but your own to clean up after yourself. So my motto, and my mother would be proud of this, is always leave it cleaner than how you found it. Whether it's going to be you working next or somebody else, please make sure you leave it cleaner than when you found it, okay? We want to make sure we put everything back properly, everything's washed and sanitized and dried. Do not leave your dishes there for someone else to put away. Anything that you use, an appliance, a skillet, a serving tray, a spoon, whatever, that all needs to be washed and put away, washed, dried, and put away back in the sampling area, I might add. So And then the last thing that you'll do, remember, if it's a national brand event, is you will take your items to the front and purchase those using the debit card at customer service and have your event receipt form signed. So I did forget to mention, when you arrive, you should have your event receipt form. You should just check in and write your time in. And then they do need to verify your time in and your time out. So before you leave, you need to get a manager's signature verifying that you did work that day on that form, which I'll show you what that looks like. I did also send an email to you, so I recommend just printing a bunch of copies so you have them on hand. You will need a new one for every event that you work, okay? And again, I'll put those with your event materials every single week as well. So any event you're scheduled for, if you need it, it's there. You do need to print those too. You have to bring those with you. So, and they're not going to be at the store, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and screen share with you guys to show you what the program looks like. So give me just a minute here. Shoot, where did that go? Sorry, guys, give me just a second here. Okay, I'm still looking where this is. What did I do with it? I'm sorry about that, guys. Nope, not it. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't seem to find that. But I can show you what the cart looks like. So let me go ahead and screen share with you here. It'll take just a moment. All right, so at this point, you should be able to see my screen, and it should be showing you the sample spot table. So this is the new look of the program. It is this, some of the tables might be a different color, but most of them are this black table, and then it will have this green signage on the front. It's a really light cart. It's made out of, the same material that, a cooler would be made out of. So it's like that thick plastic, but it's fairly light. So it's easy to wheel around, and it has 2 shelves in the back. So this is a good example of what that will look like, okay? Also, I'm still going to see if I can try and find this image here. Here it is. Okay, guys, I'm going to share this with you. I do have the mock-up of the look of the program because it is fun to see with everybody. Okay, it'll show me again for a second, and then here it is. Okay, so this is the look of the program. So you should be able to see on my screen now the hats, aprons, and tables. So it looks slightly different. This was an original mock-up, but basically this was the straps are not white. We weren't able to get that, so the straps are actually green. And then you'll have these cute buttons for flair as well. And then you'll also have a name badge. So those aren't pictured, and we're working on getting everybody the name badges to the proper stores in the next week or so. So you guys should have those soon. If they're not there for your first event, that's not abnormal. But this is just an exciting vision of what this will kind of look like. And then the hats here are like a chocolate brown. Also, the hats are back ordered. So I do want to mention that the hats are going to not be there for like maybe another week. So we will touch base with you on that. But in the meantime, if you are scheduled this weekend, if you have long hair, it needs to be pulled back into a ponytail neatly. And if you have short hair, that's fine as well. But we will not have hats or anything for the first weekend, which we've okayed with Price Chopper. So just an idea of what this is going to look like. So kind of exciting. And then uniform is obviously black closed-toed shoes, black slacks, and a white collared long sleeve button-up shirt. You do need to arrive to the store in uniform. Make sure it's looking sharp, it's ironed. We don't want to look scraggly or wrinkly or anything like that. So please make sure you're looking sharp in that way. Shoes can be black dress shoes or black sneaks, but they do need to be all black. So sneaks or sneakers. I don't know if you guys call them that. I do in California. So if you would like one of those, or if you need an idea of what that looks like, let me know. I can send you examples, and it'll also be in the handbook once I finalize that. Okay. So that is the program. One last thing I do want to screen share with you guys. Let's just switch over here. All right, you should see me again for a second. And then here is this. So you guys will also know that we need, we're going to need replacement supplies. So this is what the document will look like. There will be several copies of this in the store, but we also will put them in the event materials area as well in your field link profile in case you ever need more. You can reuse these. Obviously, they have barcodes corresponding with the items, but there's like sample cups here. cutlery, gloves, and then some miscellaneous items as well. So it is up to you, and it's your responsibility to anticipate when you're going to need more supplies. I will tell you, it takes about 7 to 10 days for these to come in with the store's order. So it's your job to work with a manager and make sure that you are putting in an order ahead of time. So if you need stuff, for the next day, it's not going to get there, right? It's going to take a little bit of time. But you just need to tell the manager what you need, give them one of these sheets, and they will scan it and add it to their store order for store supplies, okay? So this is what this will look like. And there'll be more information about that. We still are finalizing a process, but for right now, you guys at least get the gist of it, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and screen share the field link with you to show you what that looks like. So give me one sec. Okay. All right, so I've made this as big as I possibly can. So by now you guys should be able to see, oh, actually I can make it slightly bigger. Okay, so now you should be able to see this fairly big on your screen. I maximized it as big as I can. If you can't read the words, that's okay. But this is what the homepage of Field Link looks like. So Field Link is what you guys are going to use moving forward. So I want to just clarify, everyone seems to be confused on Workday and Field Link and YouTube. There's a lot of platforms we use, okay? So Workday is the one that you use to get to fill out complete all your new hire paperwork. That's where all your personal employee information is housed, your payment info, your emergency contacts, tax elections, etc. You really won't need that unless you need to update your personal information in the future. Field Link, like you see on the screen right now, is for events. This is what you will use mostly moving forward. So you can do this either from the internet, which you should have this link. So I recommend bookmarking it, and then you'll have your email and password that was sent to you once you finish the hiring process. And this is what it will look like. It will also look exactly the same if you do this on a mobile device, but I want to tell you and make it very clear that if you use a mobile device, whether it's a tablet or a phone to complete your recap, you cannot do it from a browser. So you can't just go to Safari or Google or whatever and type in this link up here. You have to download the Field Link app. So if you want to download the app, you need to either go in the App Store or the Google Play Store, type in Field Link, this word right here, and it should be the first one that comes up. It's free to download. So if you're going to use a mobile device, you have to do it from the app. You cannot do it from a browser on a mobile device. So just want to make that clear. Okay, and then so here you can see I'm using just a test email and password. My name is not Mitch, believe it or not. This is Mitch Borden. So I'm going to just go ahead and click sign in after I enter my credentials. And it's pretty user friendly. So this is what your home screen will look like. So it just says welcome, and it tells me that I have one event that is currently scheduled. So if I look in here, I can see in my events, this is how I view what I'm scheduled for. So anytime we hire you into an event, we schedule you for it, you will receive an automated email from the system. I like to reiterate that the emails are not reliable. Sometimes they're wonky and you don't receive them, or you do, or if I have to change your location or your time or whatever, it's just a million emails and it's not reliable. So I really want you to get in the habit of actually logging in and viewing your schedule through here. So you will click on events, and then you'll click on event list to view your actual schedule. So you can, as you can see, as in this example, I'm only scheduled for one event, and it tells you what I'm sampling right here, my hourly rate, the date and time, and the store location. So I'm working at 159, the Bethlehem store, and this is the address. So you can also you can click on this map icon if you weren't familiar and you're new to the store, and it will show you exactly where you are on the map. So you can see I'm in Minneapolis, so obviously it will give me directions all the way from Minneapolis to this store. So normally it would obviously be a lot closer because hopefully none of you are traveling from Minneapolis to work events. You can even get directions here if you want from your house to the store. Pretty cool. So I'm just going to go back to my home page here and go back to my event list to view my schedule. So, and then any of your event materials that are associated with this event will show up right here. So right now, all I have uploaded is an event receipt form. So you can see right here, there's an event receipt form. If I want to open that, all I need to do is click on this. It doesn't really look like it, but it's a clickable link. So if I click on this and it's already reviewed, it will download right here in my downloads my event receipt form. So this is what I emailed you, and this is what an event receipt form looks like. So you'll need to write in your store number, name, date of event, begin time, end time, and then you'll print and sign your name. This is where the manager will sign and print their name, and also put a store stamp if they have one available. And then in here, if you had a national brand event, you would tape or staple your receipt in this box here. And then if you did not make a purchase, check off this box so that we know, nope, this was an own brand event. I did not make a purchase. That's why there's no receipt. You need one of these events, this event receipt form signed for every single event that you work, even if you do not make a purchase. So I will say that again, you need to have one of these for every single event. It's really important so that we can verify anything with the store if there's any questions about whether or not you actually worked. So back in here, so tonight, once I upload your actual event materials, which is the document, what we call the document that contains all your product info, it will also show up here as well. So you'll be able to get it there. There's a second way you can get your event materials, and that's by clicking menu and then event materials. So I can literally see, here's my chef's menu beef stir fry, and then here's my event materials. And if there's more than one, which there will be, it will have another one here that I can click on as well. So that's where also where you can get them. I think it's easiest just to get them from your event screen, because then you know, oh, these event materials specifically go with this event. So I need to print that out. And then the confirming events, I never require you to confirm events within the system. So if I ever need you to confirm, I will send you an email with specific instructions. So you won't need this for my events, at least for Price Chopper food sampling or alcohol events, okay? And then event materials, we already went through that. Opportunities, I touched on that a little earlier. Opportunities are additional opportunities outside of food sampling events. So these are other programs that Interactions is running. And also the adult beverage opportunities will show up here as well. So that's what you would click on, and you can view other opportunities and apply to work those if you'd like. Now you can also see here pending recaps. So a recap is your time card. This is what you have to complete after every event that you work in order to be paid. Recaps are due the same day of your event, and they need to be done on time. Otherwise, it can result in delayed payment. So again, I'll say that they are due the same day of your event. I will tell you that the system sends you an email if your recap is not completed within 4 hours. So if you finish your event at 5 and it hits 9 o'clock, the system's going to send you an email saying you have an overdue recap because it thinks that it's 4 hours. Technically, yes, your recap's due within 4 hours of your event, but as long as it's in the same day, I don't care. So if you get that email, don't worry about it. Just make sure you get it in the same day. So I'm going to walk you through how to complete a recap. So I'm going to click on pending recap. So let's pretend I just worked this event. And this is actually, you guys are going to have to complete a recap after this call or after this video to get paid for your time. So this is exactly what this is. So let's pretend that Mitch attended the YouTube live training session yesterday. So the location doesn't matter. You guys are going to see a location for this. It's not going to be the location you're working. Ignore it. It doesn't matter. This is just so I can pay you for the training. But this is what your recap will look like. So to open your recap, you're going to want to click on this. And then this is just event details. And if you ever didn't work, we would know ahead of time, but we might ask you to complete a did not work recap. So if you called out last minute, we would ask you to complete this. So you would still need to log in and click it and explain why you didn't work that event, whether it was an emergency or you were sick or whatever. But other than that, you would never use this because we should have already been informed. So if we ask you to complete a did not work recap, this is what we mean. You would log in and you would click this and you would provide reasoning as to why you didn't work. So hours worked. So I did work. So this is going to be for the training event, but I'm just pretending that this is for an actual event. So I worked 11 to 5. So let's say I worked 11 to 5. For you guys, for your training one, you're only going to put in the 45-minute training session. We're almost done here. I got there at 11. So I'm going to just write in here that I got here at 11. So this is a time clock. So it's not actually hours and minutes. It's really, I mean, it is, but it's not like you work 6 hours. It's like, the start time. So I'm going to enter my start time in here, 11 o'clock. I'm going to click set to lock that in. Then I'm going to put my checkout time, and this would be 5 o'clock if I was working a real event. So I'm going to up this guy, click set to lock it in. And then if I took a break, I would put in my start time and my start of my break and my end of my break. I would put that in there. But if you didn't take one, you can leave it blank. So if you work additional hours, it will drop this down saying overage explanation. So like, let's say you worked an extra half hour because it was taking forever to clean or something, you would need to put that explanation in here. So we want to stick again close to that 6 hour mark as possible. But if I did go over, that's what I would do here. So I would write in, needed extra time for cleanup or something. And clearly I can't spell today, so sorry about that. And then really important, guys, so this is what everybody misses. So at this point, you have to tap and click here to complete the survey. This is typically what everybody misses. So you want to click on this button, and this is going to open a separate window, and it's going to show you what your survey looks like. So this is what the survey is going to look like for what your survey is going to look like for the recap. It'll have different questions for the training, rather. It will have different questions for your actual events, but you'll need to always complete these. They're super short, typically less than 8 questions. So I would put the, answer my questions. I'm just going to quickly go through and do this. Make sure answering them as truthfully and best you can. Okay. And I don't think that one requires one. Then you'll click next. And then you'll see right here, it says important to complete your report submission, you have to do the following. So at this point, you need to click submit. Now, it'll say thank you for your time right here, and you can click OK. And then everyone seems to think that they're done after that, but they're not. All you did was submit your survey questions, but the survey and the recap are separate. So you need to make sure that you go back in and complete your recap. So you need to close out the survey window, and then go back into your recap, and you need to now upload your photos. So to upload your photos, you're going to click this camera button, and I'll give you guys some examples. So I'm going to just choose one. So we require 3 photos and your event receipt form, so 4 in total if you include your event receipt form, that you put in every recap. So the first one is you at your station. No selfies are permitted, so you can ask a store team member to take these photos this photo for you. You and your display. So everything should be looking sharp. Your station should have samples out, should be looking awesome and looking great. That's the first picture. Second one is just your display. So it's essentially the second picture, except for now it's just going to be your display. It's essentially the first picture rather, but you're not in it. So you can take that yourself. Just step back and take a picture of your display station. And lastly is a customer engagement photo. You can be in this, you don't have to. It's just showing that we're engaging the customers and that they're excited. So a great picture example would be like someone holding the product and thumbs up, a kid enjoying a sample. Always ask permission for customer photos, okay? I only need one, but if you get a couple more, that's great too. So here's an example of my display photo. So you're going to choose the file from wherever, I went a little fast there. You're going to choose the file from wherever you have it saved. And so I'm just going to pick my display test. And I see here, so it's kind of sideways, but this is another program that I used to manage. So you can see it's a great picture. He's got his display. He's got samples out. It looks awesome, okay? Then you're going to choose whether this is an event photo or a receipt photo. Obviously, this isn't a receipt photo, so I'm going to click event. And then you'll see that it's uploaded right here, okay? Now I'm going to upload my second photo. I'm going to click this camera again and repeat the process. Choose file. I'm going to pick the one of myself. So let's pretend this is me. So look, same picture, but now I'm in it. So I had somebody take that picture for me. It looks great. This is an awesome example. Then I'm going to click this is an event photo. And then I don't have a customer example, but I would upload my customer photo and do that. And then I'd also upload my event receipt form. So this is my event receipt form, and it's got my receipt attached. Everything's filled out, store stamp, exciting. And obviously this is a receipt photo because it's my event receipt form. So I would click receipt. So you'll see these little icons here, which mean that they are attached. So if you see this, that's fine. And then from here, we already did the survey and we already entered our time. So we're just going to click submit recap. And when we submit our recap, it's going to give you a submit progress bar like this. So it's going to show you, how, as it's sending and what the progress is. So you need to make sure that this goes all the way to completed before you close out this page to make sure we receive it. So at this point, it will finish up and then the screen will jump back and it will let you know your recap is submitted. So now you can see I have no pending recaps at this time. I submitted everything that I needed to. So that is the basics, guys, for these other ones you can play with. It's really simple. It's got really simplistic features, but that's what this is what your field link profile looks like. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to see what that looks like, and you'll get a chance to complete your own, once we get off this and I let you guys, whoever emails me to tell me that they were on this call. So I'm going to ask you guys that you please email pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. I believe I have 5 of you on. So email me as soon as you can at that email address and let me know that you were on this training call. and I will then add you in. I will add a recap to your profile. And then at that point, you can go back in and you can complete it so that I can pay you for your time. So for this recap, you'll just need to enter your time. So it will be whatever it is, 3 o'clock to 3:50. And then from down, again, ignore the location. It's irrelevant. So just, put in your time and then click on the survey because you need to complete the knowledge quiz as well. So it has a couple quick questions. And then from there, you can submit it. I don't need any photos for this one. I think that's pretty much it. I know this is a lot of information, guys, and a lot of this will be recapped. And what's cool is that you can come back and view this video at any time and go back and look at our YouTube channel for additional videos as well. I'll have more soon that you can complete. So if you ever need a refresher or a reminder or whatever, it's the same link that I provided you, that this video is now available and you can actually go back. So right now I'm live, but it'll literally be a recording and you can watch the lovely me as often as you would like, okay? So I'm just kidding. So anyway, those will be available to you guys. And then once we have, I'll upload the event materials tonight for anything you're scheduled for this weekend, and you'll have those. And I will also have that handbook ready for you guys sometime in the next couple weeks, and I'll send that over. So a lot of information. If you have any questions, please email them. Again, pricechopper@interactionsmarketing.com. Thank you guys so much for your time. We're really excited about this program, and I hope you have a great evening, okay? Bye, guys. Thank you.